Good morning. How are you? I hope you've had a good night and a good day. Uh, let's get doing yoga. I did send you a text this morning. You all have the link via text. Michelle offer asked to get it via email because they're on their TV. Um, and if you have a smart TV, you just go type in YouTube and you put it, and then you can on your screen, on your big screen TV, you can go to YouTube, and then you can just put the link in. So, or you can just search for Debbie Arnell channel. Tina, I will. Do you want to? I'll send it now. Hang on. This will take just a moment. Good morning. Okay, Tina, that came. That should come. That should come. That should come. Alrighty, so get your props ready. Let's get moving. Okay, I had a couple of thoughts as we head in, and I'll edit most of this out. I mean, I'll edit all this out, so I'll wait till I get in my chair to start. Um, Again, if you're kind of new to this, put your chair on something that's not going to slide, right? And go ahead and grab your racquetball. Start working on your feet. I wanted to share something from Timothy McCall. He's a medical doctor. I've mentioned him before. That also does Ayurvedic and yoga, and found it and has totally shifted his lifestyle. But I wanted to share one of his quotes. He has a whole course that's called Yoga as Medicine, and I've taken his first 100 hours. But he talks about a term they use that's called alternative reductionism. And what that means is that the term itself is used to describe if you're given a medication. This is just an example of it, but if you're given a medication, your body starts, at first you start having a really good effects. I mean, it works, but because it's something extra you're adding into the body adapts, and the body starts to shift. And in this shift, then all of a sudden, the medication doesn't start becoming as effective. And then we need to switch medications and switch to something different, right? And that's one of the reasons that I've used natural more. But for the first time, I had the understanding. Say you want to use vitamin D, right? it helps me feel good, and it does, and being out in the sunshine does. But you can have alternative reductionism, and I mean, you can use alternative, like natural things found, but you can have an overabundance, and it still will have the same effect. It still is doing too much. So it's kind of like an attitude. Um, when it's a natural supplement, it'll just be this enormous dose that's used. Okay, and that is doing exactly the same thing. Um, so it's more the dosage, right, of what we're doing than. So there was a quote that I wanted to share. Um, and I can't find it. Um, I'll try and do it by myself. The idea being that as often as possible, rather than using a medical, a holistic, a substance type approach, we look at what the real issue is. Um, Maybe it's our posture. And rather than taking a supplement or even a medicine to help the pain we're having on our low back, right? We change how we're sitting. Um, we change how we walk. We pay attention to whether our knees lock, right? So this idea that we have to have something else uh, given to us isn't the best benefit. That the benefit comes from really being aware of what we're doing and how we're doing it and what we're doing that is detrimental to our overall well-being, and that can be thoughts. Okay, oh, I just have headaches all the time. Well, if you think crappy thoughts, or maybe you don't get enough water, or and you're like, well, I don't like to drink water. um, I don't care, drink it anyway, right? Or find a way to hydrate yourself. um, it can be as much as sitting down to watch a movie and you recognize, oh my gosh, I always eat a bag or two of popcorn while I'm watching that movie. Uh, that could be, I mean, it just, so we start to look, and this is kind of what yoga affords us, is this opportunity to look at everything we do in our life. It really is a wonderful magnifying glass of what am I doing. Okay. So I'm hoping you've rolled out your feet while I've been talking. I haven't because I've been thinking. Okay. But I just wanted to, the thing that was amazing when I was taking this course with Dr. McCall was um, just this idea that the alternative stuff can be used just like medication is. I mean, they're really, it depends on your use of it. And I'm not saying that sometimes we don't need it, but the medical field knows that if they give you a drug that helps, the body will adapt, right? And but the same thing applies if you're just doing a natural supplement. Okay. So the key is, how do I pay attention to what I'm doing? And I'm just trying to get a deeper magnifying glass with me. Okay. I have had the last couple weeks, this hip has been bugging again. I've gone back in, and the doctor I've worked with, he says there's nothing out of balance there. But it hurts. and I'll feel great, and I'll go on these long walks, and I'll feel great, and then the next morning I wake up and I'm dying, and I do nothing, and I get up and it's painful. So I'm trying to take a magnifying glass, right, to that hip and find out what it is that that hip is doing um, that I need to change. So making sure that both feet, that you found those places. Worked with a person yesterday that's got some plantar fascia, and she was home kind of working with her ball all day, all evening, and she's like, oh my gosh, they feel so much better. The idea behind this is that we have things that we do that feel better, but we have to do them, right, for us to feel better. We can't just say, yeah, I know that'll make me feel better, right, and not do them. Hang on, I'm going to open this screen up just a little higher for whatever reason. There you go. You can't see my head. I'll scoot back a little bit. Okay. So go ahead and put your ball away. Sit for a moment without doing anything and just notice the effect. Even though I've just been doing it for a moment, my feet, the bottoms of my feet, I feel that energetic vibration that we've created. The other thing I wanted to focus on, because sometimes when we think about this alternative reductionism, we think about, well, then what can I do? And I think it's important that we pause, and we'll pause throughout class again today, finding those moments when, oh, that's what that feels like. Oh, I should do that more. Okay. So if you've got, I want you to take your ball one more time, but first, sorry, stick it just on your chair or underneath your bum. Okay, I do want us to bring our hands to our heart center. Whenever I do this, I remember, oh yeah, I am divine. I am of worth. I have light. I'm great. And I want you to know that I think each of you are just the same way. I look, I get the opportunity to rub shoulders, share what I love. So, for just a moment this morning, will you bow just to your own heart? It doesn't mean you're applauding that you're amazing. You are amazing, but it's more of an idea that the intention you have this morning to pay attention to your body and to move it well is a good intention. Maybe also in that thought can be a prayer of gratitude for even the aged body that we have. Okay. I'm not used to dealing with pain. I don't do it well. I know that. I was pretty discouraged last night as I did all the things that normally just make it feel so good, and it did not feel good. So let yourself just think of the good things. Now, this day, there've probably already been a few good things, but maybe not, and that's okay. I've had, just a good moment of quiet and prayer this morning and thought. That is a wonderful place to be. Take some deep breaths. Inhaling, audibly exhaling, inhaling. Feel some of the edge of maybe tension to start. And then go ahead. Okay, go ahead and move shoulders forward and back, up and down. So they're just kind of going almost like an arch, a bridge. And then we're going to go down like we're going underneath the bridge. Okay, and it's shoulder blades. We're moving down and up and down and up. This kind of moving, go ahead and take a little side stretch. And maybe a little twist. Back and forth. Come back to just shoulders up and down, forward and back, up and down, forward and back. Stretch it, reach it. Take some twists. Not moving, you don't have to move really fast, but move with your breath. So the inhale, the exhale. And it's not a quick breath, right? It's not, right? So inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Shoulders again. This time, add in the back. So as the shoulders roll forward, you curl back. As the shoulders roll back, lift your chest a little bit. You can use your arms or you just put your hands on your thighs, but you're just feeling that stretch. That feels good to me. Round and stretch. Go ahead and maybe lift your chin, let the whole chest round and stretch. Okay. So even in yoga, so with that alternative reductionism, okay, and this may be where I get into trouble. I don't know. We start on a walk and it is just fabulous and we're feeling great and maybe we go too long, which I think I may have done on Monday. But I was having this fabulous conversation with my granddaughter and I didn't hurt at all. Okay. So yeah, craziness. Go ahead and twist. Hold this twist to this side. Just you holding onto the chair. Hands can be low if those shoulders need to be low. And then come back to the other side. I know that a couple of you have had some planned surgeries that have been canceled because of this coronavirus. How grateful I am and I feel. Go ahead and back to the first side. Go ahead and round and also come up and round and come up. Let the shoulders. There's nothing wrong, the other side, with our body moving this way, right? The thing is, do I spend more time here, okay, than here? And that only you can answer, okay? But now you have some tools, right, that will help you in your diagnosis, okay? So I do want you to grab your ball and I want you to sit on it underneath one gluteal cheek. That means your butt cheek, okay? And it will be, if you in a hard chair, my chair isn't as hard, but I can still feel it. And I want you to just roll on your bum on that. Okay. When we have low back issues, oftentimes actually low back and leg issues, okay? And one of the thoughts that came to me in my quiet this morning was, Dab, you've been doing the yoga, but you haven't been rolling. I've been doing a yin yoga, a holding of yoga. So if that was like, oh my gosh. So today I'm going to do my steady rolling, right? I'm going to get down on the floor and I'm going to roll out and see if maybe that is the key. I think, I don't know, it was a little bit of a, oh yeah. So go ahead and just, you may not feel a lot with that, but when you take it out and sit, pause, just hold the ball. Notice that you can feel energetic vibrations in that cheek, in that down, radiating down the leg. Okay. This is the benefit of these balls. Try the other side. I know we kind of think, and some of you bought the big ball. You can totally do this with the big ball. Okay. It's harder and you might feel a little ski-wumpus. Okay. But it's totally doable. And let me just show you that. I do keep my balls just down here, right? So you'll sit on it and it's not, you please hold on to something, maybe a table, your chair. I can get back down to my chair here, but that's because I want you also to go down the hamstring. Okay, I'm going to turn to the side and move the ball to this one. So if you've got a big ball, you totally can do this. It is fabulous. I do this normally on the floor, but this is a great place to do it. The hamstring benefits, okay? If the ball falls, it's okay. You just grab it and put it back in. Okay. But that is a fabulous tool. I want to give you time to, if you don't have your ball handy, to go get it. Even I know all of you have the little ball, but most of you have a big one. Okay. And then I want you again to take the ball out, just hold them gently in your lap and notice the vibration that you feel. Pay attention. Okay. There's a warmth, there's also an ease to that particular hamstring. So often, one of the diagnostic tools that you use in therapy is the understanding that oftentimes where you feel the pain is not the culprit. Okay. So, one of the thoughts that I had this morning about my hip, which hurts here, is that maybe even though my low back, I don't feel it. Okay. I'm doing the other leg. I want you to show me the other leg. You can go forward and back. You can go side to side. You can get it up here closer to the glute. Let me turn to the other side. That'll be easier to see. I'm trying to see what you're seeing here. Okay. So you're looking. Okay. So may I suggest? I'm suggesting this to myself. Is that we do this? We at least get on this ball a couple times a day or once a day. So I wanted to go back to the idea of the diagnostic. Oftentimes, the pain we feel is the result of something else that's tight or that's something else that's damaged. Okay. And oftentimes, hip flexors have a ton to do with low back. And even though I have not felt low back, a lot of the yin poses, go ahead and put the balls down. A lot of the yin poses I've been doing are deep forward folds, which cause the back to stretch and they feel good on my back. And I'm wondering if somehow, anyway, so I will be rolling on the balls after we finish class today and see what I find, see what I notice. We all have that ability. And if we don't know anybody that is like, oh, I don't know what to do with this, reach out and ask. I don't know all, but I do know some. Okay. And I do have resources. There is a Tiffany Wood that is a yoga teacher as well as a physical therapist up in Park City, and I've studied with her. So there's some things we can do. So pause for a moment again to just notice the body. I wanted to show that to you for sure. Couple have asked, how do you use this big ball? And that is how you use it. Okay, it's a fabulous tool. Let's go ahead and start our sun salutations. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, up. Exhale, hinge. And again, if you can't get the arm all the way up, you're just bringing it here. Bring it to where you can bring it, okay? The back, we are hinging at that hip. Notice I've got that flat back. That's where you're coming. It is not a here, okay? We sometimes move back, right? But we want that hinge. And most of you understand and know that, okay? So reach it, round, come all the way up, reach it, round, come all the way up. Another one, reach, round. Notice, hear my breath. Inhale here, exhale round. Inhale here and exhale round. Warming up the hips, the low back. Inhale here and exhale round. Let's take our twist again. We've twisted already. Make sure the shoulder, right, it comes up and around. Okay, so it's there. If this hurts your arm, lessen your twist. Don't pull with the arms. Try to just hold on to them and pull with the waistline. So it's like this side of the waist is moving this way, right? That side of the waist is going back. So see if you can twist without the arms, maybe with just that rib cage. Okay. Now, sometimes we'll say, oh, yeah, let me be, yeah, that's not a twist. Leave the legs. And if you want to really leave the legs, hug your block. But try not to make it be the shoulders that twist. It is the waistline that twists, and then the shoulders do follow. Okay. Come back, the second side, shoulder up and back. So you're totally okay at holding on, but we're just taking that twist and go ahead and come back and trying to twist from the waistline and then the shoulders. Okay. From the waistline and then the shoulders. From the waistline and then the shoulders. Yeah. Go ahead and round. Tuck your chin and lengthen and round. Tuck your chin and lengthen and round. Let's go ahead and use our blocks on the floor. Okay. Remember to move them forward so that your knee is not getting compromised. Go ahead and just stretch out that calf. I love to lean forward here and put a little bit more pressure down into that calf. Try to reach it all the way to the floor and just hold and breathe. And then in your mind, can you go like to the back of that calf muscle, right? That's where we're feeling the sensation. And feel that, and just in your mind, see that it's maybe lengthening. Maybe it's widening. Yeah, that sensation just gets a little. When I do the widen, I can feel that my foot is actually pressing more evenly on the block instead of just on the one, like the inner part of the ball of the foot or the outer part. When I stretch it wide, I feel that the whole ball of the foot is pressing into that block. Okay, go ahead, come up and down. So ankle rolls, important. Reverse them. We lose that range of motion. Go side to side, up and down. Now, I do want you to do this one again. Bring the foot. This foot's going to come here. You can use your toes, okay, to hold that block. Okay, I do want you to pull with the heel. Now, you might be closer, and that's okay. Pull with the heel back and engage the back hamstring muscle. I find that if I lean forward, I get more engagement, but you're pulling back, okay? I want to do it from the side. So this foot is here holding, and that pulls back so that I'm working the back of that hamstring. Okay, I figured that one out, and I have loved doing that. So finding that, yeah. Go ahead and switch sides. Finding that pull. Notice that you get a little bit of work on this leg that's supporting, right? Too. Lean forward. Find that tightness. So there's only you really kind of to work the hamstrings muscles, and they get so weak as we age, especially. Forward folds help when we go back into our down dog, right? That's a bit of a forward fold, and that helps. And the other thing is laying on your belly and actually doing some contracting leg lifts, or on your hands and your knees. And some of that, on our bellies and on our hands and our knees, we don't do as much anymore. Okay. And so we lose that ability. And this has been one of the ways I've been able to find that. Okay. Second side. Push down with the heel. Okay. And just lean forward. Just kind of celebrate the fact that your calf is stretching. That really will make a huge difference on what your ankle can do, because you're increasing the stretch. You're helping that Achilles tendon actually get more pliable. I'm not going to say that we're really lengthening it. You can, some. They really don't lengthen tendons and ligaments. Okay. they become loose. Ligaments do anyway. Okay. Oh, yeah. Now I want you to close your eyes and feel the muscle up the back of the calf, and then feel it lengthen. And then in your mind, see if you can feel it widen and notice what has to happen. I feel my hips want to widen a little bit. The foot pushes on the outside edge as well as the inside edge. And I feel the muscle actually expand. Okay. That's what we're working towards. Very subtle feeling of in the body. We want to have that much of a subtle understanding. Okay, go ahead and we're going to do both of these hamstrings again. So bring that foot out. Did you think I'd forgotten? I bet you did. I know why. Go ahead, and the heel is on the outside of the block, and I'm pulling back. I'm trying to lift my knee and engaging that hamstring muscle. Okay. You will feel this thigh working as well because it's pushing down and getting that contraction. And then go ahead and change to the other side. So we got to do it twice. Okay, pull it back, pull it in. Yeah. Find the engagement of that hamstring muscle. And release. Go ahead. I do want the block between your ankles, but before you put it there, I want you to pause again and just notice the total back of your legs, the warmth that's all the way down into the feet. This is what you're creating. It's beautiful stuff. Go ahead and hug those ankle bones onto the block. Sit up straight and tall. Breathing deeply. Let's do the whole sun salutation. Okay, here we go. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Hands on the thighs, curl it back. Exhale. Inhale, come back. Okay, we're changing it up just a little bit. Exhale, lift to here. So we went from a curl to unfolding, okay, to unfolding here and coming up flat back. Okay, when we come up flat back, if you'll keep a little lumbar curl right here, okay, then when you come up, you can actually, I want you to see if you can tighten your glute muscle. It's like you grip a little bit. You're not totally going like this, okay, but you're just tightening those muscles, kind of like squeezing. And that's what I want you to use to come up, okay? So we're going to work that for just a little bit, and we're going to work it with our ankles hugging the block. This will help us get our glutes, but it'll also help our adductors, okay, the inner thigh muscles. Inhale. You can just go ahead and just leave your hands here because sometimes we get working on that and our hands get, we get lost, okay? So inhale here. The ankles push on the block. Exhale, hinge, okay? Take your ankles are still hugging. Now add in the squeeze of the glute. Okay, it's not a squeeze enough. If you felt yourself move back like this into a curl at all, okay, that isn't what we're looking for. Okay, we're just squeezing it enough that it's like your bum. Oh, my bum's tightened. Okay, we're squeezing our bum. And then, but we're still keeping all of this length in our spine. Okay, and then we're going to round, and then we're going to come back out, squeeze the rear end too, and then lift the shoulders, but squeeze with the bum to help pull you up. Okay, try it again. Inhale, lengthen, squeeze the ankles. Exhale, hinge, squeeze the glutes. Go ahead and round. You can keep the glutes squeezed. In fact, they squeeze even tighter here. And then unwind. Make sure that you've got this movement happening. This round in your hips, right? And then the hinge in your hips. This round in your hips, this hinge in your hips. That's what we're working. And hinging, okay? Use your glutes, tighten, and they're not untightened, but you're moving. Tighten, and untighten a little bit so that you can move. Because if you just hold this really, really, really tight, you can't move. So you want to be able to not be holding so tight. I know this is different. We have not done this one before. I've kind of been going through how do we get this muscle? Notice that with your hug of the ankle block or the block with your ankles, okay, your whole legs, you can feel it down your thighs, you can feel it on the outside, you can feel it on the inside, and we're just working those legs. Now go ahead and stop. You might be fatiguing a little bit, okay? We're going to go back to that, right, that alternative reductionism idea. Okay, we don't want to do too much, okay? But that is a fabulous leg work for those of us that can't get down in squats, that can't use our legs. So I've been trying to kind of how do we get that? Okay, good stuff. Go ahead and we're going to do our pigeon on our chair. Okay, we haven't done this a ton online yet. Okay, but we're going to do the forward back movement, that same thing, and with our glutes. We won't be able to squeeze the block. So you'll have the sensation of the stretch, but you're not going to have, unless you can tighten your glutes without hugging that in. Yeah, you won't get as much muscle building, right? Okay. So go ahead, hinge. That's that flat back. I'll turn around so you can see it from here. So this is the hinge. Tuck it, hinge. Same movement. I want you to notice what's happening in your hip. Tuck and move, curl and back, curl and back. Really try to get flat, or flat is not probably the right word. There's a little curl here, but it's not very significant, right? You are hinging. These are pelvic thrusts done in a chair. This sometimes is easier for people to do than standing. Okay, continue. We've got a few more. Feel that sensation in your hip. You can feel that even your waistline and your back are getting some work. Okay, push firmly down with your foot into the floor. Flex this foot here. And if you get like a Charlie horse, you know to come out, wiggle around, and come back in. Second side. Okay. Pause and feel the one side. Feel that vibration, that energetic, that warmth. That's the work you're doing. Well done. Second side. Pick it up, bring it over, flex the foot. Okay. Pushing into this foot. You're just hinging again. And one side is going to feel different than the other side. Okay. And then go ahead and flatten the back or find the lengthen back and round. Use your glutes, lengthen back. So there's just a slight hug of my glutes and not enough to make it so that I can't. So I feel my sit bones. When I do this, it's like they're pulling forward or they move forward because the flesh of my buttocks goes back. But as I move forward, I feel them become sharper, right? And more into the chair. So you're back and round and up and back and up and back and up. Yeah, and back. This doesn't hurt as much. This gives us a nice stretch, but we're using the pelvic girdle, right? This movement of the pelvis to stretch out the hip. Okay, not force of other kind. So it's a really, to be able to hinge at the hip is kind of what we lose. All right, okay. Bring it down, pause and stretch. How you doing? Okay. We're not going to use our straps today on our arms, but we are going to use just holding them out to the side. Okay. It's not up here, right? Those shoulders drop down. Okay. And we're just doing little here. Now, if you need to be down a little lower, you'll get the same effect. Okay. And I'm doing little circles, right? Then you're going to go backwards. And I want you to go until you start to feel your shoulders fatigue. So that's going to be different for each one of you. Okay. That range of motion that is working all across the top shoulder. Okay. Go ahead and make a fist and go wide and make a fist. Your circle might get flattened. It's okay. Make a fist and go wide. Make a fist. Notice the difference on your arms. Make a fist and you'll feel it tighten up the tricep. Okay. Make widen and it doesn't. Okay. Make a fist and don't and then release. Roll through those shoulders. Okay. We're going to do the same thing up front. And go ahead and palms face each other, thumbs up. Okay. We're just going to squeeze. We're just going in and out. Now, we can just do the motion and do the front of the body. Would you engage your shoulders? So pull them on the back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and do it. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, not only do you feel it in the chest, you feel it in the shoulder blades. Okay. Now, I want you to push in like you're doing a squishy ball, push out like you're pushing against something. Push in, push out, push in. Okay. So there's always something. You can go like this, but it rolls the shoulder forward. Okay. So it's like you got something on the back of that pushing wide. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. I know. Breathe in, out, in, out. It doesn't need to move that much. In, out. I was moving quite a bit there for a minute. And then release. Roll through those shoulders. Okay. So I don't know about you, but I could do that almost anywhere and doing almost anything. Okay. Shoulders up by the ears, shoulders down the back. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. No pressure, just movement. But as I come down, up, come down, I squeeze my shoulder blades. Up, come down, I squeeze my shoulder blades. Up, come down, I squeeze. Our backs are weaker than the front of our body. Okay. Back, breathe, breathe. Up, breathe, pull them down, hold them down. Now also take the waistline back. You'll feel your whole body sit up a little bit taller on the chair. Take a deep breath and relax everything. It doesn't mean you sag, okay? You're relaxing on the spine. We're just going to help that spine practice staying upright against gravity. Take some deep breaths, tighten the waistline. And I want you to think of how you normally sit on a couch, in a chair. Can each day, this is homework, right? Each day, will you come and find that length in your spine and sit? Standing is harder, so go ahead and sit. Find yourself on the edge of your chair. You can totally warm up first, but you don't have to. But you're sitting, okay? I am feeling as if someone's pulling on the backs of my ears. There's a belt around my rib cage and it's pulling back. There's a belt on my belly and it's pulling back. It's not taking me out. The shoulders are pulling back, right? And they're squeezing together. And then I'm pushing down into my feet. I'm pushing down into the chair with my sit bones. And out of that, I'm lengthening taller. So the homework is to come in here. If you need to put a timer on your phone, do so. Timer on the stove. I know you all have a timer. Okay. And just find that length and breathe, holding it every day. Maybe it's after you read scriptures. I love doing my body after scriptures, after I've been learning, studying, reminding myself, remembering the good. And then I come and I move my body and I remember, oh yeah, this body's amazing, right? And with that, it's not that I'm going to overdo it, but I do have to do some work. I'm not going to go, okay, today I'm doing 500 of these. I'm going to hold this for 3 hours. That's just as detrimental as the medication or overdoing on the herbal supplements. And gently release. Okay? And that's homework. Let's do I can feel that we're ready. Okay? So let's do our down dogs. Grab your chair. Just stretch it back again. If you need to have one arm down, because only one arm can do it, it's totally fine. If you need to do it up here and maybe not go down so far, just reach back with your hips still. Okay, my shoulder here isn't raised at all. So you can totally come to where you don't go into hurt to do this. But if you can, stretch it back, get that body and the head down in between the arms and just stretch back with those hips. Oh, that feels so good. Go ahead and roll to the outside of the foot and then roll to the inside of the foot and roll to the outside of the foot and notice the difference in your hips and your hamstrings and your legs, outside and inside. And then see if you can find equal weight on the inside and the outside. And if you find that your knees like to knock, which means they come closer like this, boom, grab a block. Totally doable here. In fact, grab it and see. Because what it does is it's not just lengthening the spine. Now we're using my legs to lengthen the spine even more. Hold for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inner and outer edge of the foot. The weight loves to shift to the outside edge. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale. Both edges of the feet, reach and walk back in. And if you got a block between your legs, you have to walk slow. Okay, come all the way up. You can reach those arms. Maybe you can't reach the arms. Just bring them here. Okay, go ahead and hug yourself. Reverse. This isn't, the hugging's nice, right? But it also stretches out where we've worked in between those shoulders. Okay, plant the hands, stretch back to down dog again. Waddle your feet back, reach and stretch, hugging the block. I know most of you have them. If you want one, I've got about, let's say I just sold a couple, so I've probably got 3 or 4 left. Stretch, inner and outer edge of the feet. We're holding this one for 3 breaths again. Inhale. Exhale. Find the tightening of the waistline, the rib cage. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. And then just inhale and walk in. Oh, that feels good on that back. Stretch the arms up. One more. And come back down. Here we go. Back to down dog. Stretch back. Reach those arms. Squeeze the block. Weight on the inner and outer edges of the feet. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Exhale audibly. You can hear my audible exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And walk it back in. Beautifully done. Okay. So let's move to the floor. Some of you, okay, I will show you in a moment. I'll keep the chair here. You can see me. We can do the twists on there, but a lot of you can come to the floor. Use the chair, come to your knees. I know, it's the hardest part of the day. Lay on your backs. Go ahead and start our windshield wipers. Okay, I hope you're doing these every day. This movement, knees go one direction, head goes the other. Inhale up and exhale. Inhale up and exhale. Inhale up and exhale. Keep going. Inhale up Okay. If you need to be in your chair, if getting up and down is just way too difficult. Okay. On the edge of your chair, it's not going to be exactly the same, but it is good. And you've already pretty much done these. Walk your feet here, hands here, and just twist. Inhale here, exhale, and twist. And if you need to take 2 or 3 breaths to do this, please do so. So the inhale is here, and the exhale maybe is here, and then you inhale again and exhale. But just come in and find. We're just revolving the spine. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Beautifully done. Okay. Go ahead. Continue for a few more breaths. Letting that breath be long and slow. Beautifully done. Nice work. Okay. Again, if you're not down on the floor, I'll show you this. I don't know if you guys grabbed your strap. I didn't tell you to before you got down. Sorry about that. Go ahead and grab it. Okay, if you're here on your chair, I'll show you this first. You can see, you can't see my feet. There you go. Okay, you're going to just step on it. And if you've got a blue one or a yellow one, that's fine. Doesn't matter. Okay, you're just going to bring it out here. You can bring it up a little higher if you can and come down. The thing that you can't do is this. As that leg comes out, you're not going back. Okay, that's the beauty of the floor. So you come onto the floor and you hold, right? Okay, you just go ahead and if you're on the chair, you'll bend and back out and bend and back out, and then you will take it to the side, other leg, cross over to the side. Yeah, feeling the stretch on the hip, out and here. Okay, and do both legs. Okay, if you're on your backs, you've done these before. Okay, holding the ball of the foot is where the strap is, right? You're just going to hold, and you are doing the same thing. Down and back up, down. I have so often had people tell me, oh, I can't possibly do this. Okay, you can. Okay, it may in your mind not look pretty. In my mind, it looks fabulously beautiful. I just wish you could understand the gorgeous body, the body that moves, the movement that we still have. So after you've come down and come up, and you can even, instead of just stopping here, if you have the flexibility, maybe you pull that a little more. That gives a fabulous stretch. It also stretches here on the front of that thigh, okay? Now, both hands holding the strap, you take it across the body. So it's moving. Hang on. I'm hoping that I can scroll around like this into my 90s, so we better practice it, okay? Cross the body like this. Yeah, nice stretch all along here. And you can totally, instead of just holding that, move it side to side so that there's a back and forward and maybe even closer to your nose and away, okay? Just, and then maybe even a circle. Maybe you just want to hold it. Okay, I try to get my heel higher than the ball of my foot so that I also get a stretch in the calf. Take it out to the side. Same thing. You are not letting it fall down while you turn over. Okay, you're holding it out to the side. You're bringing it in and back out. You may bring it closer to your nose and back. This thigh is down if you can. This is supporting you. Your arms are getting a workout. Your biceps and triceps. It's why we didn't do biceps and triceps today, because I knew you'd be holding them here. I didn't want them too fatigued. Okay, bend your knee a little bit, pulling that towards your armpit. one more turn on my mat. Okay, so it's like this. You're just pulling that in towards. This may need to bend. If it does, it's fine. You're opening through here. See if you can bring it across like that. Okay. We have not done this one before on the ground. This is the same as our seated pigeon, but we're doing it on the ground. It's a little more hard to get that foot up. You've got the use of the strap. See if you can get it there. If it hurts your knee, please don't do it. Just stay here doing this action, okay? If you're here, see if you can pull. You can use this leg to come with you. Pull it. Now, I know you've all done this one because I've gone and I've stood right there by my foot and pushed a little bit, giving you a little bit of that extra stretch right there, okay? Go ahead, second side. Change legs, and I love how ingenious you guys have gotten by just doing this. Perfecto, perfecto. Okay, muy perfecto. All righty, forward and back, side to side. Just kind of notice the hip socket. Okay, you're keeping your back pretty flat. Remember, if you are, well, when you're on your back, I did not put the blanket underneath the neck. Please do so, right? You know how to do that. If you have questions, please get in touch with me. You can totally comment on the videos. You can call me personally if you know me, right? There you go. Side to side, forward and back, okay? Both hands, both feet in one hand. You turn. You don't have to turn, right? That's my job. Come to the side. Stretching through the hip. May come in and back out. Breathing deeply all the time. This is just some of the best stuff you can do. And again, if you're in a chair doing this, you're getting some work. Okay. You may not feel quite the same extent, but that's okay. And then go ahead and see if you can bring it a little closer to the head and away and away. Bring it back up. Change hands. It's going out to the side. Again, you're not letting your whole body go out to the side. You're requiring some muscle right there, opening. And then just go in and out. Okay, that uses abductors, right? The ADD adductors, getting closer to the body, the abductors pulling it away a little bit closer to the face. Okay, and then, let's do this one first. Bend the knee. It doesn't have to bend much, but bend the knee. You'll feel it in the groin area. It is a fabulous stretch. Turn by the side one more time. Okay. If you find that it's better with this knee bend. The thing that I like about this, as long as you've got some support underneath the neck, is your body, if you were sitting in a chair, it would tend to do this and round. Here on the floor keeps your body long, okay? It is a beneficial tool. Cross it over, okay? Using the strap and the bot foot. Pick it up. You can totally move side to side here. That can be very sensational. Pulling these legs in is something you may not have done for a long time. This foot stays flexed, so does this. Then go ahead. You can lose the strap slowly and gently. If you need strap to help you come down to here. We're doing windshield wipers again. So if you're in the chair, please do them in the chair. If you're here, please do them here. Letting the head go opposite the knees. Not doing too much, but doing some. Understanding, okay? And then work your way into Shavasana. Okay, I'll show you in a chair in just a minute, but here, and I know you probably don't have bolsters at home, I do, but I have fallen in love with two throw pillows. And if you don't have two that match, it's okay. Go ahead. They come underneath the knee to help the low back relax. You do have the blanket underneath your head. And I will again show you how to roll that one. Okay. You need to have the blanket flat, smooth. Okay. This goes underneath the neck, however much you need. Okay. What you're looking for. If you were in class, you know I'd be getting it perfect. Okay. I don't need much. So my roll's coming out just a little bit. Okay. But what you want is your head. This is the roll is under your neck, your head is supported on the blanket, but it's not my chin jutting up and it's not here. Neither one of those are a great alignment for the spine. It's here, and I'm pushing the back of my head is just into gravity, okay? Palms face up, let everything go. Take some deep breaths. Okay, so if you happen to be staying in your chair, this totally can be done. In fact, we often in a regular yoga class will do seated shavasana. I love it. Okay, you'll grab a pillow or two. Maybe you'll grab a pillow and a block, depending on how much you can fold forward. Okay, you do not want this to strain your back. So you might be here and just need a little bit of support. Okay, if you can, and the block's harder, so cover it. Okay, but just okay. Go ahead and take a few minutes. Feel everything relax. I'm going to lift my head so you can hear me. Maybe you need a firmer pillow. Maybe these collapse too much, or what you've used. Maybe you need a third. Okay. Find that ability. Maybe you bring your fists in so that your chin can be on a hand. You're not worried about the spine curling here. If you're in the seat, if you're on the floor, you've taken your spine into its optimal position. This isn't a time to feel strain of any kind. This is a time to just feel that breath up and down your spine. You can take a moment and feel how your feet and ankles and legs, your hips, your waistline, your rib cage, your shoulders, your hands, your arms, your shoulders, I did say shoulders, your neck, your head. How do you feel your back? If you kind of feel a little bit at all a sense of wonderment, just express gratitude for that. This body is incredible. And this morning, so much more had to go right for you to do even what yoga you did. Maybe you're like, Debbie, I couldn't get out of my chair. That's okay. You moved, you breathed, you did more. You paid attention. The idea and the key behind the best health we can have is paying attention to how we feel. We have to also pay attention to our attitude. Do we push through pain, or is it just I'm lazy today and I don't feel like doing anything more? Okay, there's a difference. The push through pain is detrimental. The lazy is detrimental. There's nothing wrong with feeling tired, but are you tired because you went to bed really late? Or are you tired because you did a project and it was some physical effort? The thing I find that I do most as I've aged with my body is I compare it to what it used to be able to do. And that will always find it lacking. So where I go is the amazingness that I understand more about what is overdue. What is that idea of, oh, I'll just add more. If vitamin D is good for me, I'll just take 5 doses. Well, if this exercise is good for me, I'll do it until I break. Or if having these peaches or pears bottled, okay, I need to get them all done, I'll do it all today because I don't want to have more than one mess. All of those ideas are maybe taking it to the extreme. Now, you may roll your eyes and say, oh, Deb, that's not it. But honestly, see if it is. Gently deepen your breath. Now, if you're on the floor, I am going to show you a proper way to get up. If you're in your chair, you just have to drop the stuff. Okay. If you're on your back, please, please, please move your underneath your knees, roll to one side. Bring your shoulders up and around. Use your hands. Use the outside of this arm and this hand to push yourself up. Maybe you push yourself up to your hands and your knees so that you can crawl back, putting hands on the chair and then one foot up. Please support yourself basically as you get up. Okay. If you're already in your chair, drop your pillows and you're here. I'm so grateful that you joined me this morning. Okay. This idea that I need to just do more isn't one of benefit. I really want myself and everyone to just be more aware of what am I doing? Okay. What am I thinking while I'm doing? Bring the hands to the heart center. Inhale deeply. Audibly. Inhale to Om. Namaste. Have a fabulous day.